Let's begin with charity, which they say begins at home. Teaching children responsible behavior is one of the most important duties of the family, yet it remains a big challenge for most parents. Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Sa'ad Abubakar III, said that parenting is responsible for activities of bandits and terrorists in Nigeria. Speaking at the function in Abuja, the Sultan said parents should start mentorship and monitoring of their home, because if there's peace at home, there will be peace in the society. Judy, we've always said it at on this program that, look, when the parents don't look after their children, these children will graduate to become something else in the society. As we have the menace of area boys in the south, we also have bandits, and we also have Yahoo boys, irresponsible people that would not make the society be proud in any form. It's as a result of bad parenting.
Yes, and that is the point that the Sultan is making. There's a lot of parental negligence this time around. I could say that when we were younger, parents took better care of their children. Today, even children are left by their parents to the elements. They are forced to fend for themselves, fend for the family. And the truth is, parental negligence is an enabler of all kinds of criminal activities. When Yorubas will say, "Oh my, your son is not a dry cleaner or a washerman, but he keeps bringing clothes home." You've got to ask him, where did you get these clothes? But parents don't ask such questions anymore. Young women, some as young as 14, 15, they take to prostitution. Parents don't ask where they get money. Some of them even proudly flaunt the fact that their wards are Yahoo boys, who are making money. So, and these boys will sometimes even buy houses for their parents. The parents will shut their lips. Everything starts from the home. If you find an irresponsible boy, a boy who loves crime, you've got to investigate the nature of the mother. A mother who is no nonsense in nature, who will walk into her children's room to find out what they are doing, will most likely produce children of impeccable character. But as the Sultan said, the banditry that is rampant in the north is traceable to parental upbringing. A lot of these guys lack home training. And because they were not properly trained at home, they become a menace to the society at large. So people have got to train their children. They've got to bring up their children the right way. Your first teacher is your mother. That's your first teacher before you even go to school. And that, the role of the mother is a role that is indispensable. So we need women, we need parents generally to do much better in terms of bringing up their children.
As Judy said, you don't belong to I don't want to call what they call them, that generation, but the bottom line is that...
What do they call them?
that, and when you see the kind of attitude our children, the kind of behavior, and you begin to look at what's parenting, what your parent did, and what your upbringing was like, and you now discover where the disconnects, where we have such a very, very terrible society.
Well, I think we generally have a collapse of values across different levels of society. And because family value is very, very important, the collapse of value in that area has had a telling effect on the society. And we cannot deny the fact that we have great challenges, of parenting, across board. However, if you look, at our period, you say you don't want to mention that generation. We also had bad children then. But I think what made the difference was that it was like exception to the general rule. And in any case, there were very, very few elements that you could point to in your local community, your village or your hamlet or your town and say, these are miscreants. And even when you have such elements, people are likely to say that, from the house you come from, we don't expect this kind of behavior from you. Which also meant that in the past too, parenting was also a collective responsibility. And so discipline was exercised not just by your immediate parents. In fact,
community,
the other fathers and mothers in the community, were your parents too. And the kind of thing that they would do, I used to give, this example, growing up, because we were adventurous as young people. My own parents were not into farming. It was a produce buyer. But my neighbors, our immediate neighbors, the children were all, you go to farm, they catch rats and so on. So there was a time I, looked, for money. I came from maybe an average family then, and gave one of them to help me buy trap to catch, rats in the farm. And they did. When their dad, saw the rat with the trap, he asked the children, he said, "Where did you get this?" The first question he asked them is, "Who gave you money to buy trap?" We're talking of, I don't know how to put it in today's terms now, because we're not even talking of 1 naira. We're not talking of 50 kobo. We're talking of what we used to call toro in those days. Very intangible. But that was the level. And maybe some of my childhood friends watching this will know that was I think it was Mr. Joe. He was a junior brother to our headmaster. So the children said, "Oh, it was Larry that gave us money to help him. They bought a trap and catch a rat." And then the man sent for me, and I came and he said, "Were you the one that gave my children money, whatever?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Where did you get the money?" Before I could even explain, he had brought out, stick and started flogging me, asked me to carry the trap and followed me to my dad's house. If I immediately saw my dad, he didn't even wait for my dad. He said, "Akin, you don't even give your child meat again. He has got money to go and be looking for rat and whatever." It was double punishment. Sometimes they were a bit excessive, but I think, it prepared us. However, looking at modern day too, I feel that, yes, we need to demand more attention. But I also feel we have a lot of things pulling, parents, apart. Who are even these parents? Some parents are even not supposed to be parents. We have many children now who are products of a lot of, broken homes. Some are products of, rape and so on. So there's a lot of disconnect. Then the struggle for survival. Our parents too struggled for survival. So we shouldn't say that is an excuse. But I also feel that, we can't overrun that, where children that are barely able to walk are already put somewhere because both the father and the mother had to go to school. So some of these children don't even know, their parents. So when we're talking of, bad parenting, yes, it's true. We need to demand more, but I think we also need to look at it in the context of, the collapse of values, in the society. And but we have to find a way out, because there's no doubt the first teacher of any child should be, the parents, and we all parents need to, do better.
Noji Jamiu, this Sultan of Sokoto is like saying that bad parenting is responsible for the situation up north.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ayo. Good afternoon, our viewers. Happy birthday to you once again. I greeted you earlier in the day. I wish you many more years in good life and good health.
Thank you, MJ.
Good afternoon, the maestro himself and our Egbon, and editor par excellence, Egbon Lanre Arogundade. Yeah, having said that, lack of a good parenting, it's a serious cause of concern. And to those of us who are parents, it calls to question our ability to actually put our kids in check. And like Jide said in his intro, take for example in the northern parts of the country, where most of our young sharps are into cattle rearing. I'm not saying it is a bad trade, but some of these kids, as early as 8, 9 years, the only thing they know is cattle, and they go from one bush to the other. So that parental love and care is not there. And if you know the number of out-of-school children that have to fend for themselves, so where parents abdicate their responsibilities of fending and showing love to their children, by the time those children grow up, it is difficult for such kids to listen to their parents, because they will say, "Come, what impact have you had in my life?" So that's why we are continually having these sort of issues. And to take, for example, those kids who grow up at the motor parks, that's the only people they know as their father or their mentor are the drivers. I'm not saying that being a motor park guy or being a conductor is a bad thing, but then if these people retire home, but then from an early age, they have had to sleep inside their vehicles. That's where they know as shelter. So it is becoming increasingly difficult for such people to listen to any other person. So, and in those days, when we have issues at the home front, or if our kids have issues, they'll call the parents to talk to them. They'll call elders, and they sit in a village circle and resolve these issues. But look at Toji, for example, that bandit issuing threats to government that because they are bombing his enclaves now, that he's going to retaliate. Toji is less than 30 years old. Nobody can talk to him. So those are the critical issues we need to resolve. And I'm happy that this is coming from the Sultan. It is a serious, serious problem. And that's why it's difficult to tackle some of these menaces that we have